Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Nice.
Sorry, I was giving one of our guests, directions to get down here today. Good morning. Happy Friday to you. It feels like Saturday. You should see this building. It's kind of a ghost town in here today, but that's okay. I got you. 2 hours. We're going to have fun today. We're going to be talking to Dr. Kristi Lemley, and we're going to be learning all about Living in the Light Ministries and some upcoming events that they have coming down the pipeline and so much more. Then around 10 o'clock, 10:30, we're going to be talking to Nikki over at Romantix. They had a name change over at Sam and Delilah, so they are coming in to fill us in on the name change, plus some other events that are coming down the pipeline in regards to sexual wellness. That all takes place in the next 2 hours. But while I have you, make sure you sign up for your daily email update and you'll never miss out. You can join myself and over 70,000 people that are in the know each and every day of the work week and on Saturdays with Around the Riverbend. Man, everyone's not working today. I got to hold on. Let me pull up our top of the hour news here. At 9:04, while I have you, make sure, if you haven't yet, to sign up for your Hainer Library card where you can unlock so many things like the Library of Things. It's a collection of non-traditional items such as, stand mixers, Epson projectors, microscopes, green screens, cornhole games, pickleball sets, metal detectors, a whole gauntlet of things that you could go and check out with your library card for free, and then you can keep celebrating the summer fun with all those fun outdoor games. Bring them back without fighting the Walmart line. All you have to do is go to HainerLibrary.org. That's HainerLibrary.org, and click on the Get a Library Card tab. We'll take you to top of the hour news now. 1 second. We'll take you to top of the hour news now. Not a lot of talked about today on this Friday as everyone's still, waking up from the 4th of July. Two big things for all of you that are driving on the roads today. The Illinois Department of Transportation has announced that bridge painting on Illinois 267 over Apple Creek and Lick Creek between East Root House and Scottville Road and Super Slab and Palmyra Road will begin, weather permitting, at 7 a.m. on Monday, July the 8th. Now, temporary traffic signals will maintain two-way traffic for the duration of the project, which is expected to be completed by mid-September. Drivers are urged to reduce their speeds and obey all signage and reduce your speeds while traveling to and from the work zone. The Illinois Department of Transportation also announced that bridge and flood wall repairs on Illinois 111 between New Pogue Road and East Hawthorne Madison Avenue will begin, weather permitting, 7 a.m. on Monday, July the 8th. To complete the necessary work, Illinois 111 will be closed to through traffic. Motorists should follow the marked detour as follows: Illinois 111 northbound, Illinois 111 northbound, eastbound Interstate 270 to northbound Illinois 255 to westbound Madison Avenue to northbound Illinois 111, and Illinois 111 southbound. You'll take eastbound Madison Avenue to southbound Illinois 255 to westbound I-270 to southbound Illinois 111. The work is expected again to be completed by mid-September. And once again, drivers are urged to reduce their speeds, obey all signage, and refrain from using your mobile devices while approaching and traveling through the work zone. For IDOT District 8 updates, you can follow them on X at IDOT District 8, or for more information, you can visit the Traveler's Information Map on gettingaroundillinois.com. That's gettingaroundillinois.com. RiverBender.com. Man, what a quick newscast today. You can tell it's a Friday after a holiday. Let's take a look at your weather today. 79, it feels like 89 out there currently. Today, breezy and not as hot with partial sunshine. And then tonight, mainly clear. The air quality is ranked at moderate today. Grass levels are low, mold is low, ragweed is low, tree levels low, and the UV index is extreme. So if you're going out today, put on some sunscreen and keep your skin healthy. Temperatures reach 84 degrees for the real temperature today. They drop down to 64 degrees overnight as we head into Saturday. On Saturday, a high of 83, a low of 65. And on Sunday, we start to warm up a tiny bit to 89 degrees for the high side, 68 for the low. On Monday, no rain in the forecast, a high of 86. Another low of 68 degrees. And then on Tuesday, the 9th of July, a high of 83 yet again and a low of 66. That's a look at your weather forecast for the next 5 days for time and temperature throughout the day, whether you need it now or you need it in 4 hours. 618-465-4545. This time powered by Tom Lane. He's your local State Farm agent. Hey, while I have you, before we take a look at downtown Alton and get a look at Skycam, get your tickets to Scotty McCreery. You know, he's getting ready to take center stage right there at the Alton Riverfront Amphitheater, and this is a big deal. I mean, think about it. From Kenny Rogers to Leonard Skinner to Better Than Ezra, the Beach Boys, Steve Miller Band, all these greats have graced the Alton Riverfront and the Alton Amphitheater stage, and now they add to it yet again with Scotty McCreery, that brand new cab and a solo song that has just taken off the charts, and then the new album, Rise and Fall, which has been celebrated on country radio for the last 3 months. We get to celebrate that in August with a great concert. You got to go to MetroTix.com to get that ticket information. That's MetroTix.com, and I'll see you at Scotty McCreery. I'm telling you, that's one you don't want to miss. Let's take a look at Skycam. We'll come back. More Daily Show hits you next after this.
For the good stuff, the good times, oh, but they just keep on flying right on by like it ain't nothing. Wish I had me a pause button. Moments like those, Lord knows I'd hit. Give myself 5.
Get paid to go solar.
We're not solar bros. At Grid, we're solar pros. We explain the process behind solar power so you can make an informed decision. We'll work with you to make owning your power as simple as possible and affordable with zero down financing and payment options. Our only goal is to save you money. Call Grid when you're ready to be independent of the power company.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville. Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back. Oh, 9:12 on this Friday morning. Dr. Kristi Lemley, how are we doing today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself, CJ?
Well, I'm doing great. I just want to point out to the audience, this is the first time that somebody that had the title of doctor said, you don't have to call me doctor. I love it. You're awesome. I just think this is great. So, Living in the Light Ministries, fill me in on this. Is this, I know a little bit about it just from my research, kind of just the other day, but ABLAZE is a really great opportunity for folks to really be a part of something bigger than themselves. And now with this launching, I mean, there's events popping up all the time.
There are, and we're very excited. I've been in ministry since 2003.
Oh, wow.
That's when I incorporated Living in the Light Ministries. I've been ordained as an evangelist since 2009. And the Lord just put it on my heart. I also owned a counseling practice.
Oh, wow.
And so for 20-some years, I recently sold it so I could travel full-time internationally, locally, nationally, preaching the gospel, telling people that there is hope. And so my heart really is for the community, to reach people who are hurting, to help ignite people just to love Jesus more and to find the answers to life's questions.
Right. Well, how did you get involved in ministry in 2003? Were you always someone that was religious, or was this something that found you?
Well, I grew up Lutheran.
Okay.
And I would take walks at night, CJ, going, God, there's got to be more. There has to be more than just the daily grind of constantly going to work, waking up the next morning and doing it again. And so I just really started reading the Bible and started praying, like, Lord, if there is more, show me. And he did. And my whole life radically transformed. I mean, I used to be the life of the party. I used to be a big partier and felt that happiness could be found in things and activities. And I had some things happen in my past also that were kind of difficult. And so I just needed to find healing in my heart from situations that happened in my life, but also just carrying the shame and guilt. That I carried for things that I did, regrets that I had. And when I just kept seeking the Lord and just praying, the Lord removed that heaviness of shame and guilt. And then it was like, I have to tell everybody that that is possible.
Well, and how difficult was it for you to start telling people that? You know, because to me, I totally understand it, because, you know, you always, there's something else out there, and you're battling your tribulations, you know, and you're trying to keep your faith is the most important. And then now you're feeling comfortable, everything's coming together. Was it difficult for you to spread that message afterwards? Were there some hesitations or some hangups, or did you hit the ground running?
Well, I think both.
Okay.
I think I hit the ground running, but at the same time, initially there were kind of hesitations like, will people see me differently?
Yeah.
Will people, you know, when they hear my story that I was on the road to becoming an alcoholic? I wasn't yet, but I was on that road if the Lord wouldn't had intervened in my life. And so that part, you know, can be a little difficult sharing with people who don't really know me at first, but there is hope.
Yeah.
And with ABLAZE that we are doing, we're in 6 counties. We've done 3. Now we're going to Greene County, Jersey County, and Madison County. And our message really just is of hope. So we're trying to draw in individuals who may be struggling with depression, fear, anxiety, marital issues, addictions. Like, we've seen people come to the services who are in active addiction, and the Lord delivers them.
Wow.
And
what's that feeling like when you see that happening? You know, because I could only imagine, you know, the first time you experience that, you know, it's one you'll never forget. You know,
absolutely. I mean, it's life altering. There is such a peace, CJ, and a joy that happens. And the weight of the world is lifted. Like, even people who may not be in addictions, it's just the everyday life, the heaviness of life, medical conditions, family problems, the stress of parenting, and all the things out there right now. It is just such a powerful thing to feel the heaviness lift.
Well, and now take me through how ABLAZE came together. together? How did this organization form? Was this something that was a thought-out process that was kind of years in the making, or was this a decision that was, kind of, hey, this is a great idea, let's do it?
It has been in the year in the making.
I bet.
I've been praying over it, and then I took it to my leadership and said, I have this. I feel like that this is something I'd like to do. And they are the ones, I thought maybe I'd do one county or two counties.
Yeah.
And my leadership, Pastor Phil Schneider, was like, I would like you to do 6 counties this year. And I was like, oh my goodness. But it's very exciting because I pastor with local pastors and local churches. And so the whole service in itself is opened by a pastor. Actually, the mayor is going to be opening the service at the Alton Amphitheater.
Oh, really cool.
Yes, and we have local teams do worship, local church teams do worship, and then we have a testimony of somebody whose life has been transformed. And then I preach the gospel, and then we have a time for prayer at the end for people who need that individual prayer.
Yeah.
But we also have a separate prayer tent that people can go to at any point during the service and just say, hey, I need prayer now.
How many individuals have you encountered that are really just not really, maybe battling addiction? Maybe they just don't know what's going on. Maybe they're just lost, and not, maybe lost, spiritually, but just lost in general, where it's like you said, you're working and, you get up and you put the hat on the next day and you do it again, you take it off, you do it again. How many folks just come just to feel connection?
A lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, because not everybody who comes has a major life crisis going on. They're individuals who maybe just want more out of life. Or they're weary or tired. I mean, the grind of life. Right? And so people are just coming because they just want to encounter God. And that's the ABLAZE slogan. ABLAZE, encounter the presence of God. And when people come on to the presence where we're doing the services, they're like, I just feel so much peace. Like, I feel something here. I feel something alive here.
Well, and take me through. Now, is the first one coming up? We already had one?
We already did 3.
Oh, 3? Where have I been? So you've definitely you're halfway to your number and then some.
We are.
Wow.
We are. So we're excited. The first 3, we have seen people who have come with back pain. Because one of the things we do is we also pray for physical healing. And we have seen people come with back pain and leave with no pain. Now, I'm not saying they were physically healed, but they had improvements.
Yeah.
And so they came with pain and left without pain because we believe in the power of prayer. And so we pray for physical healing. We pray for those who are struggling with fear, depression, maybe even anger or feeling bitter. And people have left feeling free and not feeling the heaviness of that. And then others have come and they have just been re-energized. And the weariness and the heaviness of life has broken off. And now they have so much more joy and are just excited for life again.
Well, and now take me through this. Because I'm on ABLAZE.global, which is on the bottom of the screen for y'all to follow along with at home. And I see that there are not 1, 2, or 3, but there are 5 more opportunities to come and be a part of this. That's where I got distracted. I was like, wait a minute, 6 and you already did 3. What was the first event like? Because I know that's nerve-wracking regardless of how much experience you have. And what was that couple of minutes like when you're first, getting the event underway?
It was pretty surreal, CJ. It was like walking out. We did the first one in Greenville for Bond County at the fairgrounds, and we had 120-some people show up.
Wow.
And for me, it was very surreal. It was like something I prayed for. And I've been praying for every person who comes, they've already been prayed for, that they would have an encounter with God because God sees them. And for me, that was a very pivotal thing of knowing that God gives us hopes and dreams, and He wants to see those fulfilled.
Yeah.
And so to see, we had 4 baptisms because we had a baptismal available, which we don't have one in every county. But it was just powerful to see people recognize that there is hope.
Yeah. Well, and that's the most important thing right now. I mean, you turn on the television, no matter what news channel you watch, you need a lot of hope right now. And not even just that, but, the way that the world's going, wherever, one's moving at lightning speed, your kids are moving even faster now, and all the sports are moving faster, and work is, and how do you manage all of that and manage your stress and sanity at the same time? what a wonderful opportunity. Now, is this open to any denomination of religion? Can, Catholics come, Baptists, the whole 9 yards?
Anybody can come. And that's the beauty of ABLAZE, is it's completely free, open to everybody. We've had people who didn't even believe in Jesus, who came and just wanted to check it out. It is open to everybody. And in Jersey, we're next in Greene County and Carrollton. And then in Jersey County, we're going to be in Jerseyville and Grafton. And then in Madison County, because it's larger with more people, we're going to be in Edwardsville, Granite City, and then we end the whole summer at the Alton Amphitheater.
So let's talk about this. Coming up on Sunday, July the 14th, is the next opportunity for you to be a part of ABLAZE, the free countywide event. Bring your own lawn chair.
Yes.
And this is July the 14th at 6 p.m. Free hot dogs, chips, and water before the service. It's at the Greene County Courthouse. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
Whew, I was getting nervous. I normally botch one of these, and that's at 519 North Main Street in Carrollton Square. That's a beautiful spot. That is have you been up there?
Yes.
It's
Yes,
so
we
beautiful.
have.
So beautiful. And now take me through what is being offered throughout the service. How does it start? What's it kind of look like?
Okay, what it kind of looks like is it begins with a local pastor opening up the service, just welcoming people, praying over the whole event, just kind of inviting people to join into the process. And then there is live worship.
Okay.
We have a local worship band usually that will be playing and singing songs that are more contemporary. And so we have about 3 or 4, maybe 15, 20 minutes of just singing and worship. And then we have somebody who shares a testimony, their life story about what happened in their life, either when they invited the Lord into their heart or when they just continued to pray and seek the Lord and walked out a difficult time. Because the Lord can instantly deliver and heal, and sometimes it's a process. And so we have somebody who just shares what the Lord did in their life.
Well, and I think that's a really important notion, is to have those testimonials, because I know, and we've all been in that path where, even though we might not want to admit it, for some of us, where we're looking up and going, why now? What did I do? I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on, and it might not be a disastrous, event that happened, but just a series of kind of just stressful scenarios that lead to people just feeling kind of drowned, and to hear any testimonial, whether it's, it was a year-long process. I prayed for 10 years and I finally got an answer to, I was praying, and all of a sudden, right when I was praying, something happened and I connected with it. That's great for anybody to hear.
It is. And a lot of times, CJ, we feel like we are alone. Nobody will understand. I'm struggling. And if people know I'm struggling, then what are they going to think about me?
Yeah.
And so the whole process is just to recognize that we believe Jesus is the answer to life's problems. And I don't want to say kind of proving it, but proving it.
Yeah.
And saying, well, here's how he intervened in my life. And people need to know, especially because of COVID and because of just the way the world is, people are very isolated. And it's an opportunity to come together and to recognize nobody battles alone, that there are people who care about them. And bigger than that, to know that there's a God who sees them and sees right where they are and their struggle. So then after the testimony, I share a story from the Bible.
Okay. Does it have to do with the testimony, or is it just one that you pick?
It's one that I usually feel led to share about.
Okay.
Sometimes it's similar, but sometimes it's completely different because there's a lot of different people there with different issues, but God sees them all. And then at the end, we offer prayer for individuals. We offer if people hear the message and they're like, you know what? I want to give Jesus a try. I've tried everything else. I've tried on my own. So why not try this?
Yeah.
We have prayer for them there. And the beautiful part is that there are local pastors at the altar. I'm the one who does the preaching. My ministry might be the one who's organizing this. But the answer is the local church and getting people connected to a body of believers. And so that's why it's my heart to have local pastors there. That they can meet in that moment. And if they're not plugged into a church, then they can find one.
I really like that component of it. I mean, I really do. That, I think, is for me, the best part of this is it's not well, just follow us, along to X, Y, and Z, which is great if you do. Please, come and support that. But you aren't saying, all right, now grab onto the caravan here and we're just going to take you with us. Connecting to those local churches, creating their own local community, because the church community is one of the strongest in any township or region. And that's so important. And just connecting them. What have the pastors thought? And just the first 3 that you've done with having those conversations, maybe with folks they've never even met before that want to go to their church.
It's been beautiful.
Yeah.
One of the things that happened is there was a guy in active addiction who gave his heart to Jesus, and he was talking with a local pastor, but he actually lived in a city of another local pastor that was present.
Mm-hmm.
And so he introduced him to the other pastor. The other pastor was able to baptize him, and now I went and visited that church a couple weeks ago, and actually last weekend. And that gentleman that gave his heart to Jesus is now involved in that local church.
That's wonderful.
That is the beauty of it. Because, CJ, Dr. Kristi Lemley is not the answer.
Right.
Jesus is.
Right.
And so I don't want it to ever be about me. That's why you don't find my name on any of the posters, flyers, on the website. It's not about me because I'm not the answer. I have the answer, which I believe is Jesus.
Right.
But it's not me.
Honestly, this is really cool because just the way that you go about it, really keeping to that message is so important because honestly, Kristi, I'll be honest with you, I Googled you and I'm like, all right, no, where's her ABLAZE? Is she a part of it? What is ABLAZE? Because there's no Dr. Kristi Lemley anywhere. It's just ABLAZE. There is hope and it has the details. And that's what's important because you aren't deterring from the mission and the message. And that is what so many people do so many times, maybe inadvertently doing it, but you aren't. And that's awesome.
No, they can find out on our website. It says who we are.
Yeah.
Then you can kind of see who's involved that way under who we are.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to be about me because I think nowadays we have too many celebrities in the Christian world.
We got a lot. And how do you feel about it? Because to me, and I'm a raised Catholic and all, and I think it's, great if you want to, share people your faith and how wonderful it's been for you and maybe even doing some prayer stuff. But I always get a little bit of a hang up whenever someone's profiting on it too, and that's kind of where I'm at with the celebrities. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Well, again, it should be all about Jesus. And we should point people to him and not ourselves. I am not a self-promoter. I don't like that.
No.
And so for me, I just love Jesus. And CJ, if you had the cure to childhood cancer, would you keep it secret?
No.
And so if we believe Jesus is the answer, we shouldn't keep it secret.
Absolutely not.
And so for me, it's all about lifting him up and his name and who he is and his character and not mine.
Well, and now take me through some of the leadership team, if you could, for ABLAZE. Who can we meet at some of these upcoming events?
Well, hopefully a whole bunch of local pastors.
Yeah, that too. Do they show up to some of the local events, though, part of the ABLAZE team?
Part of the ABLAZE team. We have the coordinator of ABLAZE, which is Lisa Matheny. We have our security team, which is headed by 2 wonderful gentlemen, Butch McGill and Mike Lieberger. We also have an information booth where people can go to and find out more about the local churches who are partnering with us. And Lori Palmer does that. We have our music coordinator who kind of works with our sound system and the local teams, and he also does the altar time, and that's Rodney Palmer. We also have parking assistants, which is my husband, Craig. we have local prayer teams, and we also have my prayer team that prays for Living in the Light Ministries. That really is the ABLAZE Encounter the Presence of God is under Living in the Light Ministries.
Yes.
So I have my own Living in Light Ministry prayer team, but we also have prayer teams for each county.
Wonderful.
That are praying for their own county, praying for their own cities.
Yeah.
So, yes.
That's really huge, though. And I was just scrolling down, though, and I'm on the website now, ABLAZE.global. And actually, here, we'll go together so you guys can see. I was just going down and seeing some of the leadership team and just scrolling through. But also, folks, click on the homepage, and then you'll see that Hope is available. You can see some a video of some of the events that have taken place. And then plus, at the bottom, I saw it eventually, Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a video. That's a 30-second video that just says who should come and what is it about.
Yeah, and then coming up, too, details for all the upcoming shows or upcoming events where you can go starting July 14th. And Carrollton Square is beautiful. I love Carrollton. I just think it's a great spot. Then you guys are moving.
We are. we are.
Oh, my gosh.
CJ, at the end of June, we did 6 services in 10 days. My poor team was exhausted. I was exhausted because we set up and tear down for each one of these.
Yeah.
And so that should tell people something, that if people are willing to give up their summer.
Yeah, literally give up. You are.
We're giving up our summer to tell people that there's hope.
How many have you had the individual yet that's just kind of cold? You know what I'm saying? Where they kind of come in and they're just, nothing's going to change at all. Take me through if you had an experience with someone who really just had every hang up and every kind of just throw it to the wind mentality. Have you seen some deliverance there?
We have. There's a lady that came that was a heroin addict for 10 years. I got to pray with her at the altar. And so after I speak, then I say, if you want to come up for prayer, come to the altar. And she came to the altar and she said, I was a heroin addict for 10 years. I got clean. But then I started drinking alcohol. And she said, Kristi, I have this pattern where I can be clean for a year or two, but then I always relapse back. And in that moment, I just felt the Lord say, ask her what's in her past. And so I just looked at her, and as a counselor too, I get this.
100%.
And I just felt in my heart from the Lord just, ask her about her past. And so I said, what happened to you in your past that you haven't let go of or it's not healed? And she just looked at me and she shared a little bit. And I'm like, okay, but I feel like there's more.
Yep.
And so she shared. And so I said, are you ready to give it all to the Lord and ask him to come in and heal that wound in your heart? And she said yes. And so we prayed, and she looked at me and she just raised her hands and she said, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. I praise you. And she looked at me and she said, I feel completely lighter. Like, I don't know really what happened, but I feel lighter. And she said, who would have thought me coming to a service like this could change my life?
And I'm sure there's so many testimonials just like hers. And, to me, though, we always talk about going out and helping somebody. And, helping doesn't really giving somebody a sandwich and $20 because you filmed them giving them the money, how some of these influencers do now. It's putting on a service and keeping your doors open. Because if the doors are open, they're going to be led to you eventually, And I think that goes so much further into just helping the community, because I'm sure, even though not everything, you might not have been, even if it was, it might be cured and everything's great and we're moving forward and hitting the ground running. Even if it's not, even if it's just 60%. She's going to go home and use those tools that you guys just worked on and trust the power of prayer and having those spiritual feelings. And all of a sudden, her life's completely changed.
Yes. And that's the point of us doing them outside of a church.
Yeah.
Yes, we've been ridiculed. We've had people say things. But my heart really is getting to where the people are.
Yep.
Outside of the church walls.
Yep. Because they're scary for some people.
They are, and I recognize that, and I realize that. I mean, getting my doctorate and going through that whole process, my whole doctoral dissertation was on revival. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it's getting to where hurting people are, getting to where people are that maybe just need renewed. Maybe there's nothing big going on and they come to a service and nothing spectacular happens within them, but they just feel renewed.
Exactly. And, I've always said this too. It doesn't matter if you have a $10 million budget for every one of your events. It doesn't matter if you have a $15 budget. Go to where the people need you.
Yes. Yeah. And what was cool when we were in Hillsborough in Montgomery County, we were on the square, we were in the plaza, and there were 3 bars within earshot. And so we just turned on the sound system. We had worship, I preached, and 2 ladies came out of a bar to hear the gospel. And so my heart is just to get to where people are. Yeah. And even if they're not technically in the service, like we saw people driving around the square with their windows down just hearing. And so some people still are a little hesitant to want to come, but we know the sound waves are going out and people can still hear.
I just love this. And let's go through. We've already been talking for 28 minutes. I'm sorry about that. So well, let's talk about upcoming dates. I just flashed them on the screen again, but we'll go through them again. So Sunday, July the 14th is the next upcoming opportunity, and this is at the Greene County Courthouse, 519 Marion Street, right on Carrollton Square. It's a beautiful spot. And then as you guys see here on the ABLAZE.global website, Jerseyville and Grafton, you're on tap.
They are, and we're very excited about we didn't realize we were going to go to Grafton and that door opened. And so we're going to be right where the lift is for the to go up to the winery.
Yeah.
We're going to be right on the road. And we're very excited. We're excited about being in Edwardsville at the City Park Bandstand.
That's a beautiful spot they got.
It is.
Yeah.
And then in Wilson Park for Granite City at the Centennial Pavilion.
And that's on August the 3rd if you're in Granite City, and if you're in Edwardsville, that's on August the 2nd. So July 26th, Jerseyville, July 27th, Grafton, August the 2nd at 6:30 p.m. in Edwardsville, and then August the 3rd in Granite, and that means the tour wraps up with the big venue, the Alton Amphitheater.
Yes, and we're just excited. So if you're listening and you're a local pastor or you go to a local church and you want your church to get involved, they can reach out to me at Kristi@ABLAZE.global. And I would love to see a whole line of pastors at ABLAZE to pray for people. We're also going to have a baptismal at the Alton service. We don't have them at all of them, but we will at the Alton service. So if you've never been baptized in water and you want to, come. We'll be doing that. But if you attend a local church, I would encourage you to invite your pastor to baptize you, because I think it's important for those that you walk through life with, be the ones who baptize you and not us. Again, it's not about us. And so if you've never been baptized in water and you want to be, invite your pastor to come baptize you.
I love this. I just love the fact that you're putting God first, because so many times when we talk about these type of ministries and all these events, there is some folks that kind of make it about themselves and don't put the real message out there. And the fact that all across the board, Kristi, you're bringing in local pastors, you want folks to go to their local churches, you want people to be connected with their local community. And yeah, it's ABLAZE is a great starting point to grab everybody and bring them together. And that's what I think you guys are doing so well at. You're staying to that mission. And I love it. I'm a big fan. And now going forward, are you doing 12 next year?
CJ, let's get through this summer because we've learned so much.
Have you really?
This is the first summer I've done like transformed services in churches. Like we've gone from church to church. This is the first time we've done outside. I've been invited, like I preach internationally also. I've been invited to go to India to do something like this, but we're getting through August 4th.
Good answer.
And then we will see what the Lord has in store. But I love knowing that sometimes we're just the spark.
Yeah.
We're just the spark. And what the Lord does after that, praise the Lord.
Well, and I can only imagine, Kristi, in a year, maybe even 2 years, maybe even 3 years, somebody walking up to you, whether it's at the grocery store or whether it's them calling you and saying, you have no idea that day in August really changed my life. And that, to me, is more valuable than any price point you can slap on anything.
Absolutely. And the reason we want local pastors there is because if they don't know Jesus and they come that night and give their heart to Jesus, we want them in a local church so that they can grow in that relationship. Yeah. We don't just want a number. Oh, somebody gave their heart. That's a check for us for a salvation. We're not even keeping count of anything. That has been my heart.
I love it.
I mean, we've done a service with as little as 25 people in Hillsborough.
Yeah.
So for me, it's not the numbers. It's have I been obedient and is the presence of the Lord felt? That is success to me.
I love it.
Am I obedient and have people felt the presence of the Lord no matter how many people are there? But we do want them connected in a local church because when we leave, we want them walking in a community of believers, growing in their faith.
Well, and especially right now, because before I let you go, that's a huge thing, because you aren't going to grow if you're in an environment that doesn't allow you to. And if you're in an environment and I hate to say it, but maybe your best friends or maybe the comrades you have and all the bar mates or whoever you go hang out with, if they're keeping you shielded from it and kind of holding you back, you might need that community to kind of keep you on the right avenue going forward with your relationship. And I love that. I mean, I really do.
Yes, and people need to recognize that churches, I often hear, well, churches are full of hypocrites. Absolutely, we are all.
Yeah, totally.
Because nobody is perfect, and we have weaknesses, and we all need, life is hard. And just because we may believe in Jesus, that doesn't mean life is going to be easy. Actually, sometimes it can mean it's going to be a little bit harder.
Yes.
However, so we need a body of people that we can do life with and walk with. And so that is my heart. I still believe, and I will always believe, that the local church is the answer. I'm just kind of coming along with the spark. And because that's... we're all part of one body, and my role in the body is not as local pastor. My body is as an evangelist, as a revivalist, is to kind of bring the fire and the spark that gets things going. And so I'm just going to do my part and be me and allow others to step up and encourage others to step up into their role, into their part. And so that's the beauty of us coming together as the body of believers.
I just love this. And now, how can folks reach out? How can they stay connected and stay up to date on when events are happening, or just reach out to you because they want to connect their church with Ablaze and all of the great work you're doing?
They can go to ABLAZE.global and find out more information. If they want their church to get involved, because there are way too many pastors in Alton, Edwardsville, Granite City, for us to connect with all of them.
Right.
But we would love for them to be there. So if you want your church involved, you can reach out to me at Kristi at ABLAZE.global. If they want more information, they can just go to info@ABLAZE.global.
I love it. I'm a huge fan of this. Dr. Kristi Lemley, thank you so much for stopping by and just hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it, and I hope that the summer wraps up on a very good note and you get some much-needed rest afterwards.
Yes, I'm planning on taking a couple of days off, or at least that week off afterward. But thank you, CJ, for the invitation to be here. It has just been such a joy and a pleasure to be with you.
Well, we'll link everything on the RiverBender.com article, and we'll make sure that you all stay up to date. You can also check out the community calendar to see when Ablaze is coming closer to you. If you're in Granite, Edwardsville, or in Alton, you got a couple of weeks. But up next is Greene County at the Carrollton Courthouse, or the Greene County Courthouse in Carrollton Square, followed by Jerseyville and Grafton in a weekend. Then you're keeping on moving, and I'm a big fan. Seriously. 9:44, a little bit of change on this Friday morning. We'll take a quick break, and we're going to come back. I talked to Jackie Spiker this week, and I didn't realize really the wonderful work that Hope Rescue does, and I don't give me the little dunce hat on my head. I get it. They've been around for quite some time, but we had a really empowering conversation about just taking care of our furry friends, but also ways that you could win $15,000 while helping Hope Rescue. So let's take a quick break. We'll come back with this one and have some more fun on a Friday.
Get paid to go solar.
We're not solar bros. At Grid, we're solar pros. We explain the process behind solar power so you can make an informed decision. We'll work with you to make owning your power as simple as possible and affordable with zero down financing and payment options. Our only goal is to save you money. Call Grid when you're ready to be independent of the power company.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof, because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready? Future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville. Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nicello on RiverBender.com.
9:25, welcome back. Jackie Spiker in studio this morning.
Good morning.
Detective Spiker almost.
Yeah, right.
Well, this is really cool. We were talking about doing an interview on the show, and what better time? I mean, number one, Hope Animal Rescues does some pretty awesome stuff, and we're starting to know that in the community more and more, but now it's a chance to support Hope, and I don't know, maybe win $15,000.
I know, right?
What happened here?
I mean, who could complain about that?
You can't. How did this all come about?
Well, we're trying to come up with new ways to raise money.
Uh-huh.
I mean, right now, it's very difficult.
It
And
is.
it costs about $280,000 to run our rescue in a year. That's a lot of money.
How many animals are you all taking care of?
109.
Wow.
We're not small.
Right.
Many years ago, we got a huge donation to build a state-of-the-art animal sanctuary. And it's great. And we still get support from that donor. They pay, we have 4 staff members, they pay for their salary for a year, which saves the rescue about $109,000 a year.
Wow.
So that means every single penny donated gets to go to the animals. We have no paid staff that we have to take care of out of those donations. So it truly is 100%.
Wow.
Which is
That's unheard of. Yeah, that really is unheard of.
Nobody does that. We're the only ones because everybody needs staff. You can't take care of that many animals.
Right.
So in the summertime, people are busy, they're going places, and donations go in the tank. And literally, we're living off our credit cards because the donations just don't come in.
Wow.
Adoptions don't happen. People are busy, which is good for them. You know, everybody needs to do their own stuff for mental health. But rescues and shelters, it's really struggles in the summer.
Well, I've heard, too, on top of it all, nonprofits are just overall struggling across the board. It's just the way the world is right now.
Yeah, there's several that have closed.
Wow.
There's several that have closed, and it's sad. So we're trying to think outside the box. Well, you know, 50-50 raffles are popular. So we set up this raffle. We only sell 300 tickets. So you have a 1 in 300 chance of winning.
That's a pretty darn good odd for 15 grand.
Yeah, right. So when the raffle sells out, we will draw the first Friday after the raffle sells out. And it's a true 50-50. 300 tickets at $100 each. We raise $30,000. The rescue gets 15, which pays 1 month of bills.
Yep.
And the winner gets 15.
Well, and just what you said, though, I mean, that's 1 month of bills.
1 month, yes.
And, you know, I've talked to small business owners and across the board corporations, but $15,000 has got to be one of the highest monthly payouts that I've ever heard anyone talk about. And it makes sense because you're talking about boarding, you're talking about veterinary care.
Veterinary care is the #1 cost.
And how many animals do you encounter that truly need dire veterinary care?
I'd say 1 in 8
Yeah.
that we rescue are in serious need, horribly neglected, heartworms, broken legs. We have one right now that somebody found where the rescue is. We do not advertise our address. We do not have open hours. We're a true rescue. We're not a shelter. Shelter is usually a building where they have open hours to the public. A rescue is a place that has a specific mission, and they are usually not open to the public because they can't accept dogs from the public. We rescue our dogs either from the police departments when they pull a dog out of neglect or abuse or whatever, or out of animal control. Those are the only ways we get our dogs.
Well, and, that's another good point, too, because you aren't, I don't want to sound negative about this, but you aren't having, some of the, cute puppies that are getting dropped off. You're truly rehabilitating animals. And
Correct.
And that's a huge difference, too, between a shelter in terms of a rescue, because you're truly breaking down those trust issues, too, because I'm sure the animals that you guys have, some of them, not all, but that 1 in 8, especially have some very serious trust issues with humans.
Well, yeah, they're hand shy, loud noises scare them, all kinds of things. A few years ago, we had some cabins put down in the woods. We have 14 acres. So we have 3 cabins down in the woods. They have their own fencing, their own doggy door, everything, but it's quiet. And that's the most important thing. And people can visit those dogs one-on-one to earn their trust. There's no loud noises. There's nothing scary.
Yeah.
And we can rehabilitate those dogs easily. But the funny thing is most dogs that we get that were truly neglected or abused are dying for attention.
Really?
They're not the ones that we have the most problems with. The ones we have the most problems with are dogs who have lost their home and their previous owner was a loner. They didn't get proper social skills. All of a sudden, there's strange people around. They have never been in an environment like that.
I could easily see that.
So that is the biggest issue we have. It's not so much the abused dogs. They are the most forgiving, and I don't know why, because if they were people, it would be opposite.
100%.
Okay, but the dogs that belong to somebody in a home where they really didn't go anywhere except for the vet once a year, those are the dogs that have the most problems interacting with new people.
That is so fascinating. And Jackie, how long have you been in the in the rescue industry? I mean, how long have you done this?
19 years.
And throughout those 19 years, how have the needs changed? Just as society changes, the Riverbend region kind of evolves. But just for you guys specifically, how have the needs changed for you? Year after year, 19 years later.
Boy, there's been lots of changes. Since COVID really did change society. I mean, big time.
Huge.
Okay, it was a huge change. And people are different now. They don't, I don't want to say, I'm trying to find the right words, but when it comes to push or shove, they're going to shove the animal out.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but I do have issues with that.
Me too.
Okay, they still have every cable channel known to man, but they can't afford to feed their dog. That doesn't make sense.
No.
If you truly have empathy, which I think we've lost.
I agree. Yeah, that's 100%.
Empathy is very important. You can't be taught that. You can't be trained that. You either have empathy or you don't. And I think society is losing our empathy.
Well, and that's actually, I've never even thought about the COVID point with that, but 100% over. I mean, it's in the same realm of people that decide that an animal on Christmas is the best gift, and then they don't realize that animal stays with you forever, and that's your family member.
Exactly. Or they go out and Grandma lost her dog. Grandma's 89. They go out and buy a puppy. Well, guess what?
Exactly.
Nobody wants the puppy when Grandma passes, and now the puppy's 10.
Yep.
And it's hard to find that dog a home because they're 10.
Right. Well, and now I wanted to ask you this for your for what you guys do at Hope Animal Rescues. Take me through the rehabilitation process. What's the final stage of rehabilitation look like out of all the blood, sweat, and tears? Because I'm sure there are those with these relationships that you all have with these animals.
Well, I tell you, I mean, we have a very loyal volunteer base. Their goal when they meet a dog that's shy is to win that dog over.
That's awesome.
Okay, that is their only goal. And they love that dog. They bring food to that dog. They'll do anything they can to help that dog. And eventually, the end result is a dog that trusts strangers.
And that's huge.
And a dog that you can go, I mean, our volunteers take them to Shivers for ice cream. They go for walks in the nature trail. So they get out into the big bad world that they've been afraid of.
Yeah.
And they realize, hey, this is kind of fun.
Yeah. Well, you're right. You aren't keeping them in a 4x4 pen all day.
No.
That's what, I mean, everything you all do is done the right way. And it's a true, when you say rescue, and that's why I'm so glad you clarified that, you all are a real rescue, because I'm not going to lie to you,
Truly.
Jackie. I was, when I was buying my first house and, you know, I was ready to kind of settle down, and a couple weeks in, I'm like, well, let's get a, you know, it's time, because I always had a dog and I wanted one, you know, and I thought, well, I'll just go find Hope Animal Rescue and see if they... You can't find them. I said I can't find the address.
Them, honey. I'm sorry.
And I said, but you know what?
But
That's
some people
perfect.
have, and it's not always a good thing.
And I would never do that, because it's truly your mission to rescue animals. And that's what I think is so fantastic about what you do. And yeah, it's great to, you know, help somebody find their furry friend companion and grab the puppy and do all those things. But to protect the animal is the mission, and to rehabilitate.
Correct.
And that's why I just love what you do, because
thank you.
It's truly that mission.
It is true. We are true to our mission. We have been for 19 years. No, we don't have a bunch of cute, fluffy dogs. Okay, but what we do have are dogs that trust humans, that you can give them a treat and take it back. They're not going to do anything because they have been taught to trust us. And that is a testament to our volunteers.
100% over.
That are there out of empathy. And, you know, we don't have open hours. It takes a lot to take care of 109 dogs.
I couldn't even imagine what the day looks like.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy. But in the end result, it's all about those dogs. Our dogs have rooms that have patio doors. I'd love to give you a tour.
No, I would. I'd take it any day.
They have a patio door that goes to their room. They're not kept in cages. Their rooms are 8 feet wide, 15 feet long. They have a doggy door that goes outside. In the middle, it's like a U-shaped. In the middle are 2 giant play yards with swimming pools, and they get to play. They get out. They get love and attention. And if you want to heal a dog, you don't have to have a special trait. You just have to have empathy, love, and attention.
Well, and you know, on top of that, why were you so invested to get this going and to really be a part of this? Was saving animals always something that you kind of found near and dear? Did you stumble into this?
No, but I came from maybe, you know, the wrong side of the tracks, and I didn't have a lot of friends, but I had my dog.
Yep.
I could tell my dog anything. My dog wouldn't tell anybody. If I didn't feel good, my dog was there. If I were lonely, my dog was there. Dogs are wonderful creatures with empathy.
Yeah.
And they brought the empathy out in me. And I lived a normal life, and all of a sudden, Hurricane Katrina happened. And to this day, I still can't watch a documentary. I can't watch anything about it. But that changed me. I could not believe all the animals that were left behind and just tortured. And so that's how I was hoping to help some dogs. And thus our name.
That's just incredible, Jackie. I never knew that.
That is how we started. It was Hurricane Katrina. We brought 17 dogs from Mississippi and Louisiana up. We boarded them at a boarding facility. We vetted them with our savings, and we found them homes. And the supervisor from the state of Illinois said, you know, you really should start your own rescue. There are dogs here that need help. I had no idea. I really was ignorant to the plight of homeless dogs. I just thought you got a dog, you have it forever.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You don't. I mean, that wasn't even in my head.
Right.
And then when my eyes were opened, it was absolutely shocking.
Well, and that's what I was going to lead in and follow up with that is here locally, how many cases do you guys run into, I don't want to say a year, but just if you could ballpark it, of neglected or abused dogs right here in the Riverbend? Is that really where all of your intakes come in from?
Our intakes come in mostly from around this area.
Wow.
Okay. We intake about 300 dogs a year. As one goes home, one gets rescued. It's literally a revolving door.
Wow.
One gets adopted. We can't wait for that adoption to be finished because there's a dog in animal control scheduled to die. If we don't send a dog home, we have to let that dog die. That's the hardest part because we see the dogs in animal control and we're like, oh, God, that looks like a sweet dog. We got to help that dog.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody goes home.
Yeah.
And then we know 5 o'clock the dog's gone. And that's a hard thing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's really no reason for it. If people were responsible,
you're right.
we wouldn't have this damn problem. So, excuse my language,
you're right.
But it's absolutely infuriating.
Well, it is.
That people are ignorant to the plight of the dogs and that they have no empathy at all.
Well, there was a case, and I didn't get in trouble. I thought I was going to until the whole town said, here, here. And this was the one in Alton where this clown got charged with animal cruelty and killed 3 of his dogs. And I'm telling you, there's no place to even put him on trial. I have no use for people like that. I have none.
What the heck?
You can't fix that. And I'm sorry. It's absolutely it's more than criminal, and it's just not right.
There is something wrong with that person.
Yeah.
There is something terribly wrong.
But I'm right there with you, Jackie. I have no use for anyone that neglects an animal. I mean, you're talking to the guy that had a pig living in his bed for a while. You know, I mean,
right.
Yeah. I mean, that's you do what you got because they're family. And what I think is just cool though is the fact that you're volunteers. You guys, I don't know if you vet them or if there's a pretty strict process, but just from what I can see, it is.
We do vet them. They have to apply, and they have to be like-minded.
That's interesting. I like that. Explain a little bit further.
They have to be like-minded.
Okay.
If you breed your dog, don't apply to volunteer. Mm-hmm. First of all, you're not going to last because everybody there is going to give you crap.
Yeah.
I don't know. You could disappear in the woods. I mean, you know, I mean, breeding is just not necessary right now, especially for pit bulls, any kind of bully breed. What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, I get it. No, I get it.
And the people that buy those dogs, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know that only 1 in every 100 nationwide get out of animal control alive? 1.
Are you serious?
1. That's absurd.
That is. I mean, that really
We're
is
just
absurd.
breeding them for what purpose?
For euthanization. That's
we treat them like objects and not like living beings. And people are confused. Yes, God gave us domain over the animals. Do they really understand what domain means? Because what it means is we are responsible for their care.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
it doesn't mean do whatever you want to them.
Well, and that's why I so highly encourage the support of Hope Rescues as long as we can possibly do it, because it goes across the team of 4 that you all have that are wonderful and in-house, and to know that basically, you know, they're paid for by another grant or some installment of that, and knowing that every bit of donation we give to Hope Animal Rescue, that's going to an animal.
Correct.
And across the board, from the 4 staff, but even down to the volunteers, with what I was leading into, is everyone lives and breathes that same mission. It is not.
Correct.
I mean, there is no kind of question mark out there. This is cut and dry. This is what we do.
This is what it is. And I am a black and white type person. There's no gray area.
Me too. Very much so.
Okay.
Yeah.
If these are the rules, I'm going to stick to the rules.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't deviate. Now, I step on toes.
Well, we all do.
You know, but I can't help it. I take it to heart. My job is to look out for the animals.
But that's what you need. And that's where I get so frustrated now, Jackie, because everyone's always willing to make a concession. You
Correct.
know, everyone's always willing to compromise, and compromise is great.
Yes,
you know,
are
but
dead on.
At the end of the day, if it's not going to work, it's not going to work.
Correct.
It's a very, you know, there isn't no, well, okay, this has never happened, but because you smiled at me nice and because you're so upset, I'm going to give you this dog, or I'm going to let you be here.
Right.
You got to be able to answer the mission of the organization.
Correct.
Every approach.
Every approach. That's why, you know, that's another reason why I'm not knocking anybody else.
Right. No.
Everybody does do good things. They're just all different.
Yep.
There's no right or wrong per se.
Yep.
As long as you're helping the animals.
Yep.
But like, you know, you look around and you see all these shelters, they're so desperate, they're having discounted adoptions. I'm sorry, but you cannot properly vet 100 people in one day.
No, and the thing is, and that's where I've always...
And we don't discount our adoptions. I mean, I just don't. We spend, just to vet a dog is $312. Our adoption fee is $275.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't making a profit. It's a nonprofit. Our job is to raise the difference in fundraising. And sometimes we rescue a dog that costs $5,000-$6,000. Their adoption fee is $275.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But you need to be able, that adoption fee is based on vetting the dog once a year. If you can't afford that, you really shouldn't have the dog.
100%. And hey, Jim, want to stick around?
Heck yeah.
I got to pay a quick bill. 9:44. We'll take a quick break. Daily Show on a Monday. Hits you right after this on RiverBender.com.
Get paid to go solar.
We're not solar bros. At Grid, we're solar pros. We explain the process behind solar power so you can make an informed decision. We'll work with you to make owning your power as simple as possible and affordable with zero down financing and payment options. Our only goal is to save you money. Call Grid when you're ready to be independent of the power company.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready? Future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville. Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nicello on RiverBender.com.
Sorry, I was too busy talking to Jackie about getting rid of these jerks that own dogs that shouldn't. And forgot to mention the Summer Mega 50-50 raffle too much here. So tickets are on sale now.
Correct.
And how much are they?
They are $100 a ticket.
Uh-huh.
You will be texted an image of your ticket or emailed an image of your ticket within 48 hours of purchasing your ticket. Again, we're only selling 300 tickets. Once it sells out, it'll be announced on our Facebook. The Friday after it sells out, we draw. So the faster it sells out, the faster somebody gets their money.
Good line there. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you want to do it. And it will go until we sell out or until October 15th, I believe. If it doesn't sell out, whatever we have sold, so you might only get 10 grand, you might only get 5 grand, but it only costs you $100.
Well, that's why. Okay, so it's one drawing,
Right.
But it's all dependent on if we sell the 300.
Correct.
But I think we will pretty quickly. I do. I think
we should. We should. But the economy and everything is different now, so it's a little scary.
You know,
it's scary.
Have you ever done? There's a video that came out the other day, and it was a guy checking out his groceries. And the cashier had to hold his arm down and said, "We'll get through this together," as the guy was crying and biting no tissue and all this stuff, you know.
Right.
But, you know, and what I think's great is you guys extended this, so it's not forcing people to act quick and get all these things done because money is tight.
Money is.
So you guys have you guys have until October 15th. If the tickets don't sell, put a couple of dollars back each week and then get your chance to win 15 grand. That's a life-changing money. I'm sorry. That is life-changing money.
Yes, it is.
I mean, if I had 15 grand, I'm telling you, I wouldn't be back doing a show until next Tuesday because I'd be celebrating.
Yeah, right.
And I'm getting a ticket. Don't think I'm not. I host a local talk show.
Think about what that could do for somebody.
Well, and what that does for hope overall. Because, and that's the bigger thing. Because, winning money's great. And when you see 15,000, of course, it gets you excited. But just knowing that your $100 is going towards the care of an animal.
Exactly.
And, you know,
not payroll or anything like that. It is going to dog food, electric, water. Our water bill's $450 a month.
I could only imagine that. I bet every bit of that.
It's crazy. Actually, it might be more in the summer because we have to do other things.
Yeah.
But it's outrageous.
Well, and now how do we get our tickets? How do we buy them?
You can go online at www.hoperescues, and it is plural, .org. Scroll down a little bit. You'll see the flyer for the raffle, and you'll see Purchase Now. Just click that and buy your ticket. If you do not want to do it online, you do not have to. All you have to do is put it in the envelope, put on the front, Hope Rescues /raffle, P.O. Box 397, Godfrey, Illinois, 62035. Drop it in the mailbox. And when we get it, you will get your ticket either mailed back to you or texted to you if you leave your phone number so that we can do that. Or if you include your email, we'll send it to you via email.
That was as professional as it comes. That's a true veteran right there. You knew every detail that you could get out. I just love every bit of this. And honestly,
I've done this before.
Yeah. But I mean, whether or not, folks, you get one ticket, you get. And how many is it? Limit per ticket? How many tickets we can purchase? Oh.
There's no limit.
Okay. Now do the math here. You get. Hear me out.
You spend $300.
Yep.
You get 15 grand.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, and your chances go up significantly. I mean, I'm getting a ticket. I got to win 15 grand,
I mean,
Jackie.
it works.
Make for a great Christmas, you know?
It sure would. It sure would. And it would really help the dogs.
Well, and that's...
So it's a win-win.
What I think's really cool is just going back before we say goodbye for now is what you just said about, we don't have anything going to payroll or anything else. But on top of that, too, you aren't going, well, we need to sell all this because we have a marketing budget of $800 and we
don't
gotta
have
get...
a marketing budget.
That's what I
made that
love.
flyer.
I love it. That's a true... I mean, everything you do. That's why from across the board, it's the right way to do it. And it's so honest. And that's why I love this. And getting the chance to go up there and see the facility would be wonderful for me.
I will take you there. You just let me know.
And don't ask me where because I ain't going to tell you. This is too... No. And here's why. Because
We've had criminals show up.
Well, and...
We take dogs from police.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
And by law, they have to tell you who took your dog.
Oh, my God.
We had a guy show up because our post office gave them the address.
No
when he
way.
Yep. It was a big accident. It was a big ordeal. The person got fired.
I'd say so.
Gave the guy the address. He showed up at our place. Luckily, it's 14 acres. The rescue is behind the main house. We told him it was all foster homes. For some reason, 109 dogs did not bark. 109 dogs. Even my own dogs in the house. Nobody said a word when that guy came. He said, "You got my dog. The police, I got out of jail. I want my dog right now." He did not know his dog was there. But she was back in the shelter where you can't see. So we told him we were just foster homes. We didn't know what foster home had the dog, and he left. Thank God.
Well, and that's very serious.
That's why we don't have. It's not because we're being secretive, but we are being
Honestly,
secretive.
you should
We
be.
take high-risk dogs.
Yeah, and you should be secretive. I'm sorry.
We take high-risk dogs, and that is scary.
It is. And I mean, honestly, it makes me feel better for yelling at my dog for barking at the damn groundhog and not the person knocking at my door at 9 o'clock at night, because now I know at least 109 dogs forgot about somebody too. And
Well, they were quiet.
I know.
And that saved our butts.
I get it now.
No, see,
because
you
if
went
they,
right over your
it
head.
did, because I thought, well, you wanted
If
to
he
know the
heard
guy
all
was
those
there.
dogs barking,
he would know. And he would. That's wild. That's even more crazy now
So
that you
why
said
those
that.
dogs did not bark when they bark all the time?
Well, we got a little bit of help, I think.
I think we put off some pheromones and they all went, ooh, Jackie and Kim are nervous. Don't say anything.
But I mean, just to know after talking with you, and really, because I've always loved it and heard great
Well,
things,
thank you.
but to
Thank
really
you.
hear it from you and just getting to know a little bit more. I mean, this is definitely a rescue, and the fact to
Correct.
know that, you know, it's terrible to know that there are dogs mistreated in this community and anywhere, but to know that there's an opportunity, if you know, if there's more donations, the more the merrier, obviously.
Right.
But knowing that there's at least a chance that that
Correct.
dog can be saved, and not only go to a 4-foot cage, but go
Correct.
to an actual spot to be rehabilitated because they gone through trauma.
Yes. And the only way we can rescue a dog is adopt. Adopt. Don't look at the breed of the dog. Look at who the dog is. It doesn't matter what the dog is. It matters who they are.
And can we talk about your adoption process?
Sure.
Because I love this because you guys make sure there's a meeting and a couple of other truly vetted adoption.
Correct.
It isn't,
we
you
do not
signed
get
up.
very many dogs returned. We do not get, I haven't got a call, knock on wood, from an animal control in years that they have one of our dogs.
And that's because I've noticed when I was looking into it, you guys really do go and check. I mean, it is not.
Yeah.
You aren't just walking home with a dog today if that's what you think.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, I love it.
I don't know you.
I love it.
And it's nothing against anyone, but I
Yeah.
don't know you. And everything goes, when we review an application, it's risk factors.
Yep.
It's 100% risk factors. That's it. I don't look at your name, who you are. I don't care if you're wanting to adopt, but I do look at risk factors. So that's the number one, that's
Yeah.
what we do. I don't care what the inside of your house looks like, but I will go to Google Earth and make sure that you have the fence you say you do. And once you are deceptive in any way,
You're done.
You're done.
Yeah. I admit totally. And now,
But we also offer lifetime support.
Yep.
I mean, I've had adopters call 5 years later, and this little dog they found he had a hole in his heart. So we had a fundraiser on our Facebook page and everything. We raised the money to pay for that surgery. It was outrageously expensive.
I couldn't even imagine.
But you know, that little dog lived to be 13. What shelter can you call after adopting a dog and say, hey, I need help with a vet bill? You can't do that.
Yeah.
But we ask for something and we give in return. It has to be 50-50 to be successful.
And Jackie, for more information on the Summer Mega 50/50 raffle,
Yes.
and for just any other comments, questions,
Adoptions.
and donations, how
Yes.
can they reach out to you, and what's the best way to find all the information?
All the information will be on www.hoperescues.org, or you can email me at admin, ADMIN, at hoperescues.com.
Oh, look at this. This is exciting. Before I say goodbye to you, my cousin, Sydney, she was playing professional soccer in Turkey for a little bit, and just got announced she's going to be playing for the new Tampa Bay Sun FC, the women's team down there. Congratulations,
Holy
Sydney
cow.
Nasello. That's pretty exciting for the Nasello family.
That is exciting.
That's a
woo, woo. You guys
great
got to
day.
have a party.
Yeah, I got to send her a text. She's
Yeah,
down there
you
in
do.
Florida. We'll have to. We'll take a break. Let me text Sydney. Congratulations, and Nasello playing in the Pro League in America. That's always
cool.
That's a cool thing. We'll come back. Daily Show hits you on a Monday after this.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car. I have a job. There's nothing holding me back anymore.
Dream Home Realty Center.
Hey, Sherry. Talk to me, Dream Team.
We've got Joey.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
We are Phillips 66 Wood River Refinery. We make the fuels that take us to work and our children to school. We make materials and energy products that allow us to stay connected to each other. We care about the quality and safety of our products because we care about the communities we share. Our employees live our values of safety, honor, and a commitment to act as good neighbors where we live and operate. We are Phillips 66.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Welcome back to this 5th day of July. I always call it a hangover day, you know? I'm so glad I didn't go out or anything. I've been really good lately. Like, I've been kind of an old man. Yeah. Hey, let's look at 4th of July by the numbers and see how much money was wasted on exploding some items. Here we go. $9.4 billion was the amount projected this year for Americans to plan on the 4th of July food spending. There you go, $9.5 billion on 4th of July food. Number of hot dogs eaten each 4th of July? About 150 million hot dogs. Man, should have told that to Oscar Mayer. They would have had fun. $4 billion, the amount of Americans plan to spend on 4th of July beer and wine. Well, at least it's not more than food. $2.7 billion was the estimated amount spent on fireworks last year. That was 2023. So $3 billion spent on exploding items. 73% of firework injuries occur within a month of 4th of July. I don't know if you guys knew that one. $6.5 million is the value of American flags imported annually. And 70.9 million people travel 50-plus miles from home for the 4th of July. That's up 5% from 2023, and it actually set another record for the holiday. What about then and now? In 1776, the number 2.5 million would represent the amount of United States residents in the continental United States. July 1776, 2.5 million people. 56 people signed the Declaration of Independence. 56 people signed that. I always get nervous. I'm going to read something wrong. In 1785, that's the year of the oldest 4th of July parade held, and that was in Bristol, Rhode Island. In 1941, that's the year Congress made Independence Day a paid federal holiday. 1960 was the year the current American flag was chosen. There have been 27 different official flags used in United States history. Only the number of stars have changed each time. 57% of Americans own an American flag. That's kind of fascinating. $6.5 million are the amount of the value of imported American flags. We covered that. 31% of Americans purchase patriotic merchandise for the 4th of July. 100 places in the United States have independence, liberty, freedom, or eagle in their names. 39% is the share of U.S. adults who are extremely proud to be Americans. That's compared to 70% in 2003. Keeps going down lower and lower. 60% of United States adults have considerable confidence in America's armed forces. 65% of U.S. adults have considerable confidence in America's small business. 78% of United States adults say the country is heading in the wrong direction. And that's not a political poll. That's just an overall how are you feeling poll. Food and drink, 66% of Americans will attend or did attend a 4th of July picnic. And that's actually fascinating. I don't picnic. Do you guys picnic? I don't know. 76 is the record number of hot dogs eaten in 10 minutes by Joey Chestnut in 2021, now banned from the Nathan's competition. 4th of July food costs and how they're actually more than they were last year. A 0.8% increase in breakfast sausage, 1% increases in lettuce and ice cream, along with bakery products up 1%, 1.5% of an increase in fresh whole chicken, 1.6% for wine, 2.3% increase in soda, 3.9% increase in beer, 3.9% increase in tomatoes, 5.7% increase in beef, and 7.3% in Frankenfurters. That is how much more groceries cost this year. Americans spend $675 million on beef, $340 million on chicken, $191 million on berries, $153 on sausage, $149 million on pork, melons ranking in at $136 million. Bacon, $122 million spent on 4th of July this year. $94 million worth of tomatoes were purchased for the grocery list for this 4th of July. $85 million spent on potatoes, $78 million on apples, $76 million on Frankfurters, $73 on lettuce, $44 million on turkey, $15 million on smoked ham and pork, $9 million on lamb, and $2 million for exotic dishes. That kind of sounds alarming. 750 million pounds of chicken are purchased the week leading up to the 4th of July. 4th of July is America's top beer drinking holiday over Christmas and over all the others. $4 billion is spent just on beer alone, and an estimated $700 million is spent on 4th of July wine. 14,000 fireworks displays are held each 4th of July. 44% of Americans will attend a 4th of July fireworks display. 4.6 million viewers on TV for Macy's 4th of July fireworks in 2023. That was actually an increase from 2022. We'll await this year's numbers. 3 million people. That's the estimated average that usually watch the fireworks display along the Hudson River. And it costs $6 million for that fireworks display from Macy's. 6,000, that's the record number of police officers assigned to the Macy's fireworks display. Not this year, not last year, but in 2018. We don't have an updated number yet. $10,000 to $50,000, well, that's the cost of hosting a municipal fireworks display for your local communities. $5 million is the minimum insurance coverage recommended for a fireworks show. Other 4th of July favorite activities, 66% of us chose cookouts and barbecues. 44% of us chose attending the fireworks show or community celebration as your favorite 4th of July holiday. And 13% of you selected attending a parade. One state bans all consumer fireworks, not just some, but all of them, and that's Massachusetts. And 42%, that's the decrease in air quality on July 4th because of the use of fireworks. $396 million is the value of annual firework imports to the United States, and 96% of all U.S. firework imports are from China. 73% of annual firework injuries take place within a month of the holiday. 11 people died from firework-related incidents in 2022. That was actually a 22% increase from 2021. 60% of Americans say inflation is affecting their 4th of July travel plans, while 5.74 million people plan to travel by plane if they haven't already for the weekend. 85% of travelers will be driving to their destinations, and in all seriousness, 487 people are killed each 4th of July during car crashes each holiday, so please be safe. 196 people died in 2022's 4th of July car crashes involving a driver with a blood alcohol of 0.8 or above. That was actually a decrease from 2021. And just finally for you, the average cost of a DUI is $10,000. If you're going out to celebrate the rest of the 4th of July fun in the Riverbend region, call an Uber or just have a smart friend that doesn't really drink and is your designated driver. And just be mindful of that. Also, Uber, a lot of the times, gives free rides home on certain holidays. Just check. I don't know if they do one for the 4th of July. 10:30, we'll take a quick break. We're talking all about Romantix right after this on RiverBender.com.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, Free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Riverbender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Welcome back, 1033. We've all seen the building, Sam and Delilah's, but now a name change. Kind of?
Definitely. Sam and Delilah's was opened in March of 2017, and the branding has always been a softer side of sexual wellness. And we're going to continue that branding, but with our corporate name, which is just Romantix. Our company has been in business for over 40 years, and they're rapidly growing. So we want to be a part of that growth. Out of 73 locations, there was only 3 named Sam and Delilah's. So it only made sense for name recognition and advertising to just go ahead and change that name to something that we all would maybe, know a little bit better.
Yeah, so how did you come into the fold of Sam and Delilah when the name was still Sam and Delilah in 2017?
Well, so actually, I was with the company. I've been in this building since 2014 when it was Johnny Vegas.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, getting it now.
Yep. I actually tell jokes that I came with the building. Well, she was 1920 was when that building was built.
Really?
So we're still part of the historic route. And,
yeah.
And we take pride in taking care of her. So,
I saw the sign. It looked good, by the way.
Yeah, we're excited about it, especially at night.
Yeah,
it looks really, really good down the road. But yeah, whenever the old tenants moved out, the building's rented. When the old tenants moved out, Romantix moved in, remodeled the building, brought her up to speed because it was falling down, to be honest.
Yeah.
and they just kind of got us where we need to be in terms of just a lot better, more beautiful,
Well, and the thing is too, Nikki, I think it's very, because when I left the radio show or the radio station, say, don't talk about abortion, politics, guns, or sex, I talk about it all because I feel like it's all about how you talk about things, and it could prevent a lot of issues further down the road for so many people if you talk about, sexual wellness and just different options that are available out there. So at Romantix, what really sets the tone for you guys compared to maybe some other of these type of stores in the industry?
Yeah, so actually one of my favorite parts about this company itself is they do a continuing education training for us. And what that means is that we meet with vendors several times a year, everyone in the company does, and we learn about our products from the people that create them. They teach us about product knowledge, and then we're able to take that knowledge into stores and teach our guests. So when I hear from our customers, like, this isn't, like online shopping, or this isn't like shopping at another location that's like this, that's what sets us apart, I believe. Understanding what a person needs in that situation where there might be some tension because they're not used to talking about these things. It just helps ease the situation for everyone involved.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask you about, and that was kind of my overarching point and how we'll wrap up the interview with what your event is. But, so many people are so, bashful, and they have the red face, and they have all these things. When they go into to Romantix, how important is it for them to know that you're just there to help? There's no one, writing down on AMZ, such and such is here doing this. How important is that?
It's very important. Actually, it's so important that our company requires us to sign NDAs.
Really?
So if you came to my store, for example, and we sold you something, I'm legally bound. I can't even talk about that outside of that because we want the customer to know that this is a sacred space that you can feel free and comfortable to talk about whatever you need to without feelings of shame or taboo, or that maybe I know that person and they're going to talk about it later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one of our main concerns. The way that they created our store in that remodel was to make everyone that enters feel comfortable talking about sexual wellness. Everything from the lighting to the music to just the way the product is in general. So our mission there is to educate our guests in a way that makes them feel most natural, talking about most sensitive, aspects of their lives with a stranger typically.
Right.
We do have regulars that come in and they get really comfortable with individuals there, and so that makes it a lot easier to form those bonds and just kind of get that to continue to grow over time.
Well, and now whenever we're talking about Romantix, what are some of the, in your opinion, and honestly, Romantix opinion, some of your best services? What are some of the best selections that you guys have that you could fill us in on?
So do you mean product in general? Yeah. For the last 4 years, the most #1 toy, and I get shocked that it's still the #1 toy is the rose. It's a product for women mostly, and it's just anyone that's listening right now probably has heard of it. That has a vulva owner.
Okay, I am just going to throw some. I know what you're talking about only because I saw someone post a picture of one from Goodwill that was marked for $2 that was slightly used, and I've never laughed harder in my damn life. So that's seriously though one of the most sought after.
That is one of the most sought after things for 4 years running, and I just. We're just still doing it, and it's great. There's different variations and different forms, and when they come in and say someone's never had one before, it's really a shift for them to experience this, because it's not something that is going to. It's not something that's going to be like an eye shocker. Like there's some things in our building that are like, oh my goodness, this is it looks like a flower.
It really does. I thought it was a Scentsy whenever I saw the Goodwill. I'm not even lying to you. I thought it was a Scentsy, and then I went, wait a minute, why is everyone laughing at this? But what I think is so important though is regardless of who you are, regardless of what you look like, there's something that everyone particularly needs. And
exactly right.
When they go into your store, how important is it for us as consumers to kind of dispel with maybe some of the thoughts that come into our mind, and maybe some of the items that kind of hit us when we walk in, and realize that we can talk with you about what would be maybe the best for ourselves in that situation?
I think what we come across the most is, well, my friend said I should.
That's what I was getting at. Okay.
And the problem with that is that your friend might have different needs than you, and so your expectations are of whatever experience she had, and so when you come in and you're like, oh, I have to have this product. My friend said it's the greatest. Well, that's leads into a conversation of, what do you like? You know what I mean? And what we find is that not a lot of people know what they like.
That's what I was wanting to ask you about.
Yep.
Okay.
And so it's our goal with that product knowledge to help inform and educate our guests on what they might even consider to like. And it's not always, we're not going to always get it right. Trial and error is a thing here.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just, we have to try something in order to figure out if we like it.
Well, and let me ask you this, because you would know better than, me for sure, better than most people. Whenever you find, that individual that maybe walks into the store the first time that maybe has some issues going on, they can't, they aren't reaching where their fullest potential, hindsight being 20/20, they walk in and they find out that there is a product for them. Can you see it on their face the next time when they come in, like the stress kind of going on?
Yes.
In the most appropriate way possible. I mean, that's what I would see is just maybe their demeanor changing a bit.
That's actually my most rewarding part of our job. That product knowledge follow through with a happy customer. It changes their outlook of the world and their inward look of themselves. So yes, it's definitely fulfilling, and their overall attitude changes on where they are. And even if it's a product that wasn't the best for them, I see a lot of people that come in and go, okay, that didn't quite work, but I have an idea. So can we try this?
Yeah.
And then we kind of direct them with that. And I totally enjoy those kind of conversations because, it's unfortunate whenever you get the people that don't come back and they didn't like what they wanted and you never hear from them again, and you just kind of, maybe get lost between the cracks on that, because they didn't have the experience they expected.
How important is it for folks to talk about their sexual interests and things whenever, because, you hit on something that was very important, and it's one that, it's a topic we don't discuss a lot on the show, but it's still one that needs to be discussed because, so many times, you just said it yourself, they don't know what they need. They don't know what works for them. They don't know what they like. They don't know really anything when they come in the first time. Whenever they have that conversation, they start to explore themselves a little bit. Have you seen some benefit on that side of it too?
Well, for sure. Whenever we are able to identify what we like, whether we're in a relationship or not, we're then able to use that information to better our lives, and our sexual health goes line in line with our physical health, our mental health, our emotional health, So whenever we're thinking of these things, it's like, for me, I think of it as like a balance between those. And being able to have those conversations where we weren't taught before, like we've had that like one class in high school where they just taught us not how to get not pregnant. We've never been taught how to enjoy sex. So knowing that that's okay, that you're seeking that is really important to people.
What is take me through, and I can only imagine that you've encountered all walks of life that walk into Romantix, and it's not really a certain age demographic that's going in. Is that true?
That is very true. I see people from 18 to close to 100. I'm not even kidding. Like,
what?
Oh,
hell yes. Okay.
I get so excited. I get so excited. The other night, this guy was so excited. 79 years old. His wife was 59 years old, and they came in. They bought their first rose, and I was so excited for them. And they were just. They were excited. They were giddy, and I was like, I just hope that I have the same life force in me at this age that you guys currently have.
But think about that though for the folks at home, because as kind of acute of a story as it is, it's very important because who knows, that could have been causing years upon years of frustration, or even months upon months of frustration, and just to kind of be able to find something that works for both parties and helps their relationship, I mean, that's a good thing.
It is, and some couples have struggles with adding toys into their lives for various reasons, and so we're there to help kind of manage that as best we can. We also have the ability to talk about these things in a way that makes everyone comfortable, and like I said, that's the most important part. So whenever it comes to couples, it's not always necessarily a need for an adult toy or a product, but it's just, let's just try this. Especially in the winter months, we see so many more people because they're trying to keep things spiced up. Yeah. In the summer, people are on the go, and they're they have their children at home, so they don't have as much alone time. And so when they do, they're just like, let's do this. We don't have the time that we typically might have. So it's just one of those things that. It's per individual, but the uniqueness, the diversity of it, like you said, with the age, just everything is a learning curve all on its own. And we absolutely love that our company teaches us how to manage that and how to help people in a successful way.
Now, what I think's really unique about and I'll be honest with you, Nikki, I've never once walked into Sam and Delilah's or Romantix. I've never gone to a type of store like that, but whenever, you're talking to me about, just the NDAs and just that closure of knowing, hey, this is a safe spot, and knowing that you're getting, constant education because you guys are all getting constantly educated with your continuing ed, it's a safe spot because there's some places I'm sure that have given a bad rap to the industry. But when you have a Romantix, I mean, that's really what your service is for.
It definitely is. And if you ever get a chance to come in, you'll see what we're talking about. We have a lot of misconceptions out there about like dirty bookstores or what the place might feel or look like. Yeah. And coming from the adult industry for most of my life, this sets us apart from others as well. It's like I said, everything from the way it looks, the way it smells, the way it feels, the way it's set up is to invite you. And our line was also very aimed towards women because we wanted to, it's women, couples, men, but we really wanted women to feel comfortable going into an adult store alone and not feeling like they were pressured by anybody or uneasy feeling, being in an environment like that. And we've succeeded with that.
You definitely have, because safety and security, is a big thing for so many people. I'm telling you, Nikki, I'm getting ready to. I don't have the money, but I'm going to find my mega millionaire like so many else have, and I'm going to create a new Las Vegas with no cell phones. You can only call out with a landline and you can just have fun, because everyone's so nervous about, oh my gosh, they saw me here, or what happens if they video here, or what. But when you go into Sam or Romantix, you're just going to talk to somebody that's here to help you. And that's what I think is so important, because there's always that paranoia that comes in, not for everybody, but for some with that. And to know that they're safe is a huge, huge incentive.
I agree. One of my other favorite parts about our company is that we're 100% employee owned. We're an ESOP company, so we are all how do you say, owners. We have ownership interest in the company in the form of shares and stocks. So it's important to us that we are all successful individually because it greatly affects us as a whole. So we have the ability and the responsibility to create what we need to for our community, and I feel like we success in that. So
what are your hours at Romantix? When are you open?
So currently we're 12 to 10 through Sunday through Thursday, and 12 to 12 Saturday or Friday and Saturday. Going into August, I think we might reduce on that back end hour. It's not been confirmed yet, but I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. We had increased it here over the last few months, but we haven't really noticed a difference in people coming in during that time.
Now, do you have social medias? Do they allow you guys to have social media?
So they have a Romantix. It's a
like
page.
A global.
So Denver. It's our home office is based in Denver, so somebody out there, help manages that. But I did recently start my own page. It's called Riverbend Sexual Wellness Guide. And there I'm just kind of talking on different topics, not directed towards anyone individually, just a wide range of topics, and you take what you need and leave what you want. I have a Facebook page. We're also going to be
let's talk about that in a second. Okay. But just for Sam or for Romantix again, what are the hours and just one last time just so we get it?
So 12 to 10 Sunday through Thursday, and 12 to 12 Friday and Saturday currently. And the address is 1320 East Broadway.
Really cool. And now I saw that you started this Riverbend Sexual Wellness page. And now, what was the reason behind this?
I think I just wanted to reach out more. So I've been working with Soul Sanctuary and doing the healthy relationship class that we came in and talked with Sundog Alchemy and Soul Sanctuary. Well, that kind of segued into my own kind of thing with sexual wellness. I have done consent classes over the years, and I really enjoy those, and I'm just trying to grow from there. And so I needed kind of a platform to discuss these things to kind of move in that direction. So at the Milton Schoolhouse on July 14th, we'll actually have our first discussion with Riverbend Sexual Wellness. We're going to talk about consent, sexual wellness, just basics, and some sexual aftercare. Soul Sanctuary will also be there to hold a guided meditation as well, so we're excited for that. But that's July 14th at 2 p.m.
Now, who's invited to this? Who can come?
Anybody over 18.
Okay.
So anything that I do has to be 18 and older. It's considered grooming.
Yeah. 100%.
I would love for someone out there to be able to teach our younger folks, because I see the need for that.
Yeah.
I just legally can't.
Yeah, and there's been a whole, especially with sexual education and even the DARE program, a lot of those things that we grew up with maybe weren't they were components that were probably needed but not taught the right way. And you're absolutely right. If there's an updated sex ed course that could be taught in school, I think it would go a lot further, because you can speak from your experience. I'm just assuming, don't want to get myself in trouble, but a lot of issues are caused because of the unknown.
Yep.
And you can get yourself into a lot of trouble that way. And whenever you can feel comfortable talking about these things, and I'm not saying go post on your Facebook your body count or anything like that crazy, but when you can feel safe, in a community setting, or even just with your friends and family chatting about something like that, even though it's a little bit more serious or could be a little bit more of a different conversation, you're at least helping yourself. You aren't sitting there by yourself going, oh my goodness, what happens here and what happens there, and all the paranoia and things that it causes. It's a very important tool.
Well, it actually creates sexual trauma.
Yeah.
And it's something that takes a lot of time to get over, like things that we've gone through in our life when we didn't know better. It creates the guilt and shame around sex that we take into adulthood. So again, I'm very passionate about it. I just don't have the ability to do what's needed to be done in this position. Yeah. So, but I do hope that one day it is available.
Well, and now, how long is this going to go again up at Milton Schoolhouse on the 14th?
2 to 4 p.m.
And you're going to be discussing consent,
sexual wellness, just like an overall basic. Since it's the first one, I'm not going to target anything real specific.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, this sexual aftercare, which is just kind of taking care of yourself, or in a couples setting, making sure everybody's good afterwards, not just ending and then going our separate ways kind of thing.
That makes sense. Don't just pick the hat up and walk out the door, huh? Well, and honestly, Nikki, it's very much a needed service, because the more you can talk about these things that people kind of cringe at, and not really cringe, but just kind of look the other way and try to ignore it, that's where I think it leads to so many things, just like drugs. I think so many people were scared to kind of talk about things, so they didn't want people to do them, and now here we are in an opioid epidemic that's the worst that we've ever seen, and it keeps getting worse every year. And just like that with sexual wellness, if you can't feel comfortable talking about something and you're on an island by yourself, you could be causing more harm than good for the greater community too.
I definitely agree.
And now, how long have you been in the adult industry?
So I started in the adult industry in the year 2000. I had my son in 2003, so I had a lull there for some time. But then, like I said, I started back up in 2014 with Johnny Vegas. And I've been in the adult industry again ever since. So 10 years. And I absolutely love what I do.
And how do people get connected with you on Riverbend Sexual Wellness? And can they ask you questions? Can they talk to you about things?
They can. It is sometimes one of those things where you can't tell who's serious and who's not.
I bet.
So if it comes to situation like that, I do sometimes just say, hey, just come on by the store. Yeah. If you're local especially. Because that's the setting where I'm comfortable in, and we can have a lot more of a one-on-one discussion in that way. In the actual Facebook page, it's a lot, like I said, a lot of just information about a lot of different topics. Whether you are celibate, whether you are a solo individual, whether no matter your gender, no matter your identity, or your sexual preferences. So it's just for anybody that needs it, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I just think it's great. And honestly, Nikki, whenever you called me, I felt so bad because she was supposed to come on Tuesday. It shows you how it's just been crazy lately. But I wanted to have this conversation because the more we can talk about things that, aren't necessarily, this isn't illegal at all, but just to talk about things that maybe some folks treat as illegal sometimes.
They call it taboo.
Yeah,
is what their feelings are. But I see that a lot of generations are moving past it.
They are.
We're ready.
Yeah.
It's no longer just sex; it's sexual wellness. And it makes a new turn on it. It makes people feel like it's a part of their body, which it very much is. It's very much a part of our whole entire system of happiness, of balance, of just all around well-being.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you coming down today, and it takes a lot of trust to go on a talk show seriously and talk about, because you never know how hosts are, and I really appreciate your trust. And I appreciate all that you're doing with this, too. So we'll take a quick break. We'll link everything in an article on RiverBender.com. The time's 10:54, and I come back and wrap up the damn week that it was right after this.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trunked. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Bring it to me. Bring your sweet loving. Bring it on home.
How about that for a 4th of July week? I kicked ass and took names, and I know that all of you did too. We're out of time as we're rolling up to 11 o'clock here on RiverBender.com, but thank you all so much for all the love and support and just all the texts and things, because the other day I've been, It's been a little bit rougher for me lately, and some of you know that, some of you don't. It's all cool. But the thing that's cool is knowing that whenever I'm, sitting there at home, I'm getting texts from some of you, just checking in, seeing how things are going, and really creating my community. My biggest goal when I did the show was I just wanted to be here because, honestly, you heard Ron Young talk about it on Tuesday. You don't have to be in L.A. and New York anymore to be successful. If you're confident, if you have the tools that you need, and you have a community around you, it all goes pretty smoothly. And when you have a great family like mine, too, and a great boss and all that good stuff, you just have a great support system. So thank you for all of you for, everything you do for me, and I hope we do something in return. We'll see you back here on Monday, live at 9 for more of our daily show. So until then, just try your very best to stay safe this weekend. Call an Uber and try your best to stay out of jail.
Oh, yes, he did. He said he would.